When the United Galactic Council first discovered Earth, they laughed. Literally. Galactic ambassadors, warlords, and scientists from the four corners of the galaxy gathered around holographic displays, staring down at a tiny blue and green world. They mocked the gravity, scoffed at the fragile, carbon-based life forms, and dismissed the lack of technological prowess. In short, humanity was the galactic equivalent of a toddler in a room full of adults. We weren't supposed to matter. But they underestimated us. It all started with a simple, exploratory mission. Earth was deemed unworthy of direct contact, a mere curiosity in the grand tapestry of interstellar civilization. Still, a few research vessels were sent, more out of bureaucratic obligation than actual interest. When the alien crews arrived and beheld our species up close, they catalogued humans with detached boredom. Primitive. Weak musculature. Highly susceptible to disease. A short lifespan, one alien report read. Highly emotional and prone to irrational behavior, said another. They watched us struggle through early spaceflight, marveling at how we celebrated every minor achievement. But in their arrogance, they missed the most important detail: humans don't stop. Ever. Chapter 1, The Game Begins. It was 2147 when the Galactic Council decided that Earth should be included in a small interspecies tournament called the Game's Star. For entertainment, each species fielded a handful of their best athletes, scientists, and strategists to engage in contests ranging from combat to puzzles. Humans were invited as a joke. The games took place on Verida, a gargantuan artificial moon with stadiums larger than any human city. The spectators were a mix of excitement and condescension, eager to see the humans fail spectacularly. After all, most species in the galaxy were far superior, with telepathic abilities, faster-than-light reflexes, or skin made of armor-like scales. Earth sent a team of 6, 3 soldiers, a physicist, an engineer, and a linguist. In the first event, the humans were pitted against a species known as the Cathara, towering reptilian warriors with reflexes fast enough to catch bullets. The challenge? A simple race through a harsh terrain filled with traps, lava pits, and ambushes. As expected, the Cathara sped ahead. But something strange happened halfway through the race. The traps that felled the Cathara barely slowed the humans. While the Cathara panicked at each hurdle, the humans persisted, adapting to each situation with eerie precision. They used rudimentary tools to bypass advanced alien technology and avoided ambushes with gut instincts honed from centuries of warfare back on Earth. By the time the Cathara reached the finish line, bruised and battered, the humans had already been waiting for 10 minutes, stretching and laughing with one another. The crowd fell silent, unsure of what they had just witnessed. Humans, it seemed, weren't as weak as they appeared. Chapter 2, The Power of Tenacity. The real shock came in the second event, a puzzle-solving competition. The task required teams to decipher an ancient alien language that no known species could recognize. The Wyrethians, a hyper-intelligent, hive-mind species, took the lead, solving complex riddles in minutes. Meanwhile, the human team, led by the linguist, quietly observed, discussing among themselves. Hours passed, and the Wyrethians appeared to have won. But the humans, with their seemingly slow, methodical process, unlocked the final piece of the puzzle just before the deadline. Their linguistic approach wasn't based on sheer computational power but on creative thinking, something the other species hadn't considered. The council, still in disbelief, began to pay closer attention. Human ingenuity and persistence were no longer a fluke, they were a weapon. Chapter 3, Ad Astra per Aspera. The final event of the games was the most dangerous, an all-out battle simulation on a planet designed to test every aspect of survival. The humans were seeded last, their competitors expecting them to die within minutes. After all, how could a species without natural armor, psychic abilities, or advanced technology possibly compete? Yet, as the hours ticked by, the humans held their ground. They fought like nothing the galaxy had ever seen. The creatures that dominated this event, the Skrinth, relied on overwhelming brute force, their heavily armored bodies resistant to most weaponry. The humans, instead of engaging in direct combat, laid intricate traps, used the environment to their advantage, and coordinated with military precision. It wasn't long before the Scrinth fell to their own hubris, crushed beneath rockslides and caught in firestorms ignited by human ingenuity. By the end of the simulation, the last beings standing on the simulated battlefield were the humans, their ragged breaths filling the sudden silence of the spectators. They had won. Chapter 4, Fear and Respect. In the aftermath of the Games the Galactic Council was forced to re-evaluate everything they thought they knew about humanity. What they saw as weaknesses, emotion, individuality, and physical fragility, were actually humanity's greatest strengths. We were emotional, yes, but our passion drove us to overcome impossible odds. We were fragile, but that made us resourceful, forcing us to adapt in ways other species could not comprehend. And our individuality, far from being a hindrance, allowed us to think outside the rigid structures that bound other civilizations. Word spread fast across the galaxy. Species that once looked down on Earth now watched us closely. Alien warlords sought out human mercenaries, not for our physical strength but for our tactical brilliance. Diplomats marveled at our ability to forge alliances in places no one else could. Human technology, once laughable, started to evolve faster than anyone predicted, as our hunger for innovation fueled a renaissance in artificial intelligence, biotechnology, and energy manipulation. But beneath the admiration, there was also fear. The galaxy was a brutal place, and now the most underestimated species had begun to rise. Humanity's unrelenting drive, the refusal to bow down, and our audacity to dream of the stars placed us on a trajectory that no one had anticipated. Chapter 5, The Dark Future. Centuries passed, and humanity spread across the galaxy. No longer were we the weakest species. We became something far more dangerous, the unpredictable ones, the ones who adapted, who survived no matter the cost. Alien empires that once dominated now found themselves grappling with a new force that didn't play by the rules of nature or convention. And when the First Great War broke out, it wasn't the Scrinth with their impenetrable armor or the Cathara with their lightning-fast reflexes that led the charge. It was humanity. The fragile, emotional creatures who had been dismissed as unimportant. Because there was something the galaxy had forgotten about humans, something buried deep in our DNA, something that had carried us from caves to the stars. We didn't stop. We couldn't stop. The last lesson. In the end, the galaxy learned one simple truth, a lesson etched into history with blood and steel. Never underestimate a species that refuses to accept its limits. Because humans, once pushed to the edge, don't break. They evolve.